Good afternoon, everyone. Sound good? Too loud? Too loud? All right. We're going to start off by welcoming Aaron up to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good afternoon. Please stand if you're able. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Be seated.
Why don't you just stay up?
Okay, yeah, I'll stay here.
Here's going to be the agenda for today. So we've got the pledge. I'll be doing a prayer. We've got a sales update, Willowbrook Court and Oak Ridge Terrace updates, a wellness update, a property management update, a culinary services update, and then my update. But before I do the prayer, I wanted Aaron to share a little story about this picture.
Hello again. Hey, so earlier this month, we had a ceremony honoring Stephen. He's my direct supervisor. The Department of Defense has a program that's called ESGR. That's Employer Support for Guard and Reserve. They mostly help facilitate soldiers with employers who are being less than helpful in their Guard and Reserve service. You know, so if there's something about their time off, or if they need to go on training unexpectedly, this organization liaisons with the employer and shows them, hey, no, this is the law, this is what you have to do. But the other part of their purview is awarding employers who are fantastic about their reservists and guard members. And I am very excited to say that ACTS is a fantastic employer, referencing the Guard and Reserve service. So I've been in the Army 18 years, 6 of that for the reserves. I've had a little bit of trouble myself in other employers, but I have a company of 82 soldiers, and I have to work with quite a few of them almost every month on difficulties they have with their own employers. ACTS has never once caused a single problem, and even more than that, they go above and beyond. And so I submitted Stephen's name. ESGR looked at the proposal. They said, yep, we think that's worthy. So he personally is a recipient of the Patriot Award from ESGR, and ACTS is now a recognized employer at the Pentagon when reservists are job seeking. Our company will come up as a friendly employer for Guard and Reserve. So,
Isn't that great?
That's that.
Thank you, Aaron. Now, if you would, I'll lead us in prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for bringing us together today to share updates at a community level. We live in a beautiful place, and we're blessed with a beautiful community, surrounding area, and beautiful residents and team members. Please continue to bless us, help us lead as you want us to, and to do for each other what we can at all times. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. All right, I would like to welcome up Julie now for a sales update.
Hello, beautiful people. I have to say first, I was so touched by when I was gone for 2 weeks helping down in Spanish Fort. I received texts of people saying, hey, we're praying for you. Hey, thanks for doing that. But everybody that when I got back really was welcoming. And I actually missed you when I was gone. I thought, wow, I'm getting kind of needy and attached to these people. So the other thing I want to say is this weather, what is going on? I come in a parka and a turtleneck. And by 4:45, I'm down to shorts and t-shirt. I don't even know what to wear anymore. Anyway, I digress. So let's go ahead and these are our new residents. We're going to announce those. John, you made it to the big house.
John.
All right. You know what? I was skipping on that one. I'm like, I want to go tell them myself that we have an apartment for them. So, welcome. And then the Hillmans. I don't know. Are the Hillmans in here today? No? Anyway, they are new neighbors. Apartment 2115, great couple. He's really into cars, so if you're kind of a gearhead and love cars, look up John. So that's what he likes. And then the Hunts joined us, and are they here? No? They must have heard about this. Anyway, so they came in 2209, that's the apartment they're in. And then Janice Cook just moved in yesterday, so that one's not on the board up here, but she's in 1306. She's from Lula, Georgia. Lovely lady, so make sure you go and say hey to her. We're moving up our numbers on our residents waiting to come in, so we're still growing that way, so quite impressive. All right, the Senior Expo. We had 125 attend. It was a great event. Thanks to those who showed up and came and enjoyed. We're gonna do it again next year, so invite your friends. And it might even be good for you to come in and go to every table because you'll learn a little bit about each department that you may or may not have known. And it was just a really good event. If anything, it was like adult trick-or-treating. A lot of candy was eaten. And we did have a drawing, so I'm gonna announce those names. Donna Hill, where are you?
Not here.
Donna? She was in here. Anyway, she got Donna Hill. Okay. All right. Joe Burr. Is Joe here? No? Okay. And then Linda Malice won. And the prizes were a $200 gift certificate for a round trip ride to the airport and a $200 gift certificate.
Are they reading it? What did it say?
What?
Death?
Gift certificate.
She's from Iowa, don't forget.
Hello. We'll take you anywhere you need to go in death for $200, all right? And then a $200 gift certificate to go up to Dahlonega, look at Christmas lights. So those are some of the prizes, and then the mums. Okay, so our next event is in November. It's Friendsgiving. If you have someone that wants to come to an event to learn a little bit more about us, we're giving away free pies for those that come, the people that are not on the wait list that need to get on the wait list. So apple and pumpkin pies are given away. And then December event, that's our Deck the Hall. That's where they come in the lobby and there's hors d'oeuvres, and that's for our priority list people. If you want to give tours or let us tour your house, we would love for you to sign up. So if you're one of those elves that insist on dragging everything out, then we need you. So look us up. Now, this is an Iowa story. If you need ideas for Halloween right here, this is my daughter, my son-in-law, the farmer, and my two grandsons. The irony of it, at this time, my daughter was a judge, so she was the worst robber. And then the baby was a bag of money, so I just thought, if you needed any great ideas for Halloween, there you go. And that's it.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
We'll now welcome up Tammy to give us an update on Willowbrook Court and Oak Bridge Terrace.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Doing good? This is a great day. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. I did want to start out at giving you some updates. And I've got my slides here in front of me, too. So we had a big event here in September, right? Preparing for the storm. Boy, did we prepare. And I have to give a big shout out to Scott, our executive director, because he comes from an area, he's so well versed in preparing for hurricanes.
Didn't plan on it.
Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought? Who would have thought Asheville? Oh my goodness. So we kind of dodged a bullet, but I tell you what, the preparation that went into this, mitigating for this storm, preparing for this storm was incredible. And I have to give kudos to our team members, to our directors, our managers, all those who stayed overnight to continue to help make preparations for the safety of our staff and the safety of you all. So it's a big planning event. So when we look at emergency preparedness, and we have a very robust plan here at LVE, so you should be very proud of ACTS and proud of LVE for the plan that we have in place to get prepared for these type of events. So in that we have internal coordination and external coordination. And then in our storm preparation, which this occurred on September 23rd. So what happens here at Lanier Village when we start looking at our emergency preparedness plan? So we have something called an all hazards approach. So that means we make our plan where we can make it as small as we need or as large as we need. It can go down and it can expand. So when we have an event like this, we have different partners. We have internal partners and we have external partners that we work with. So we have local emergency preparedness. We have state and federal emergency preparedness systems. We have a coalition. We have, and I'll talk about some of these. Our internal stakeholders would be our LVE executive directors, our managers, our team members, and ACTS has something called an ACTS community assessment team. And these are people, part of our organization, that are part of this committee that join together. They have a plan, and when an event like Helene or some other big event happens, they come together and they deploy them to the areas that are most likely subjected to the event that's occurring. So that's what happened. We had an ACTS CAT team respond to here to LVE to help us in case we lost power or if we had any other needs. They were on site with us. So they actually came and spent the night here too. So as we move through that, and we know the Carolinas got hit, Asheville got hit, we had a sister facility, Tryon, who lost power. So once we were secured, they left and went there. Mm-hmm. And so they took generators, and they actually didn't have power for a week. So, that team brought generators in. Scott actually sent some of our folks here over to help that weekend as well. And they really appreciated that. It's nice to see familiar faces, to know that you're not alone out there, that you have sister facilities and you have an organization that's going to come up and help you during your time of need. On our external coordination, right in the beginning, GEMA keeps us updated. Sherry Russo is the field coordinator for GEMA, and that's the Georgia EMA. So she starts sending me emails, Scott emails about, okay, we're having a briefing at this time. We're going to talk about where Helene is, what's going on, what do we anticipate. They will give the local outlook on the situation, tell us how we need to be preparing. What does it look like? Is it still on track? Then we have our national folks, also FEMA coming in, helping us out, keeping an eye on us. We have the National Hurricane Center, who's always, again, giving us updates. I get updates right to my phone to keep me informed of where that storm is. Then Governor Kemp, he's issuing his orders, his executive orders, example, for transportation. So you gotta have supplies. You need gas, you need food. So he's issuing emergency transportation order to allow this transportation to happen to get to these areas. Otherwise, you wouldn't be allowed in. So everybody is on board working together. Hall County EMA, Zach, he's been in touch with us. He's emailing back and forth with Scott. Scott's holding daily meetings, sometimes more than daily meetings, to talk about our planning and what do we need to do. So, you know, from a WBC perspective, an OBT perspective, we start looking at all of our medical supplies. Do we need to order medications in advance? Do we need to order extra linens? Whatever it may be. We're looking at all of those items to make sure that we have them on hand here for a number of days. So that's all departments. And then the Georgia Healthcare Association, which is our long-term care association. So they're keeping up with all the skilled nursing facilities and assisted livings in Georgia. And so they're having meetings. They're pushing their information out to all of us. They're getting information from us. What do you need? Do you still have power? Do you have generators? Believe it or not, there are facilities in some rural areas or older facilities, they don't have generators. So they may end up having to send a generator out to these folks. So it's a combination of partners internally and externally where we all come together and work to make sure that we have the things in place to be best prepared for what's coming our way. So I'm very proud and pleased to be part of this team and to be able to share that with you so you know that we have this great plan going on. So moving on from that, something else we did last year, you remember we had the Truett McConnell nursing students in. And I'm going to be touring them next month, so if you see them in the building, please welcome these nursing students in. So we'll be taking them to all the areas. That's on November the 13th. And you know, generally the purpose of this tour is to let them get an idea about the real world, about how we care for residents in skilled nursing facilities. And then we're going to take them around and show them what all ACTS has to offer as far as nursing goes. So please, they love it when you stop and talk to them. So just give them a big old welcome. Also, what we're doing in WBC and OBT, we got flu vaccinations underway. We've been giving them to residents and to team members. We also have COVID vaccinations. So if any of you need a COVID vaccination, you can always call the wellness office and make an appointment for that. And by the way, in WBC and OBT, we have no COVID. Yay, that's a celebration. And on another note, and I don't have a slide for this, but you know, we have memory care in our OBT, which is on the 3rd floor. So during day-to-day operations, we have a lot of people in and out, a lot of team members in and out, families, visitors. So we just ask, because we try to, or we monitor all of our memory care folks, right? They look like us. So if you're exiting, make sure that you've contacted a staff member, that they know who is with you, because we want to make sure that we account for everyone. And so please make sure you get a team member to help you with that so we know where everybody is. And also during that great marketing event, we had a lot of interest in people taking tours of OBT and WBC. So we'll put something in the link on who to contact to get your tour scheduled. We'd love to have you come and take a look. We love to brag a little bit on OBT. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome up, Angeline, now for a wellness update.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's been a while since I've spoken to you in person at one of these. So I have a few updates. As you know, over the course of the last month or so, we've been giving vaccines to independent living residents. Flu vaccines were earlier in the month, and we still have some flu vaccines available for that are senior over 65 vaccines. If you haven't received one of those and would like to, please call and make an appointment, and we can provide that for you as well. Yesterday, Kim and Lucy held the COVID clinic, and I think they gave roughly 90 vaccines yesterday. I ordered 170. We still have people that signed up for the vaccine. That's what I based my order on, plus a little extra. So for those of you who did not get your COVID vaccine yesterday that signed up ahead of time, Sandra and Jody will be in the process of calling to get those appointments scheduled so you can come in and get your vaccine. Once we have those people scheduled, if they still want the vaccine, then we'll open it up to all comers to give the balance of those. And I do want to get rid of those because they're very expensive vaccines, and at 170, it's a lot of money. So I do want to give all of those. Just a reminder, if you have had COVID recently, you need to wait 3 to 4 months following your active COVID case before you get the vaccine. Why? Because you still have natural immunity. The vaccine won't really help you, okay? So give yourself a little extra time before you receive your vaccine. That way you've got coverage for longer, okay? And again, this is a vaccine, not a booster. We don't call them COVID boosters anymore. They're vaccines that will be given on an annual basis. They'll be formulated and they'll base it on the prediction of what they have for the COVID strain for that year. So what you got this week was the 2024-2025 COVID vaccine, okay? We are filing your insurance for that. And again, we would like you to call and make an appointment for any vaccine, for any dressing change, for any blood pressure check, anything you need just a nurse visit for that Kim or Jody take care of for you, please call and make an appointment. The clinic is very busy on a day-to-day basis, and if we carve out a spot for you, your wait time won't be as much, okay? Just a reminder, and if you don't mind for any call to the clinic, call Sandra's extension directly, who is she's listed as the wellness office coordinator in your telephone directory. The reason, and that number is 63242. The reason being, if you call my number or Jody's number, we're in clinic off and on, and I'm not at my desk consistently. So if you call and leave a message for me, I may not get it for a couple of hours. And I don't want that level of service, because it might be something you need to be seen for pretty quickly. So if you need something urgently, or that you need to make an appointment for, please call Sandra at 63242. Also, there's been some publication in the Link this week or over the last few weeks about insurance cards. If your insurance plan change, and especially if you're my patient, please bring those new cards with you once they're given to you to every appointment. That way we've got the correct information on file, and there's no crossover with old insurance plans versus new and getting denials and those types of things. Just as a reminder, I am credentialed on Medicare, state health benefit, United Healthcare, and TRICARE. The other plans, I do have a number of patients that are in the other plans. If you have out-of-network benefits, that's still okay, all right? If you have any questions, call Sandra, but those are the 3 main plans that I'm credentialed on. Blue Cross Blue Shield, I don't think I will be credentialed on anytime soon, because they see my clinic as being in an assisted living type property, and they don't consider that a true provider office. So those are some of the difficulties. But I can still see people out of network if need be. If it's just not covered altogether, then we do have a self-pay, and it's typically cheaper than what you would pay as a normal copay. So if you have any questions, just let us know, and we can work through that. And I think that's about all I've got.
Thank you, Angeline. We'll now welcome up Stephen for a property management update.
Good afternoon. Thanks. I've got quite a few updates today. I apologize in advance for that. Couple of quick, easy ones. The annual window cleaning is going to start Monday. They're going to start 6th floor west, work their way down. Typically takes about 2 to 2.5 weeks. I think most of us are pretty familiar with the process. There will be springs in windows. There will be furniture that's not replaced, all that good stuff that typically happens. Please put in a work order like we normally do, and we will come correct any situation that we need to. Another fun and interesting thing, about 3 weeks ago, we had some coyotes sighted on property over in the East Cottages. Within 12 hours, we had trappers on site, cameras in place. Our trappers over the first week and a half removed 2 coyotes from our property, and then our next door neighbors kindly removed the other 3 that we had seen on trail cameras. So as of the last 9 days or so, we've had no visual sightings of any coyotes on property, so we're happy to announce that those are gone, it appears. And then also the Georgia Department of Transportation is going to be removing the deer that's out at the West Vernon, or excuse me, the Mount Vernon entrance that appears to have been hit yesterday at some point in time. So we won't have to look at that for too much longer. The Department of Transportation is kind enough to remove that for us. So on to some bigger subject matter here. The fiber optic project that's been going on over in the cottages, they are wrapping up in the west cottages by the end of this week. They should be done with about 95% of it. There's some touch-up work that they're going to need to do the following week. They're going to be moving into the east cottages, and they anticipate that side will go a little bit faster. Should hopefully have connectivity up and running within the next 2 weeks, is what I was told this morning on the meeting, so that the entire property campus-wide, as far as the living area, is not like down at the lake path or anything like that. We'll have full coverage with the AXE network, so that our team members will be able to provide full service at all the cottages as well, like they can inside. So that's a good thing. The landscaping, which is always a fun topic. The annual maintenance contract, it's actually a 3-year maintenance contract. That bidding process started about a month and a half ago. The bids have come in, and they're in the process of deciding who they're going to pick at the procurement office, along with Scott and I's involvement a little bit. They asked me to do some on-site visits to the candidates, so I've taken care of a couple of those this week. And then I'll have a final meeting next week, and I think that decision is going to be made pretty quickly. They're looking at having that contract start on January 1st, which I think is perfect. It's a slow time of the year, so they'll be able to kind of come in and get accommodated to the property a little bit easier than jumping in the middle of the spring or something. Irrigation, about 95% of all of the irrigation leaks and disturbances have been corrected at this point. There's still a few small issues with the clocks that we have not been able to figure out 100% yet, but they're way better than it was when we started in the spring. I'm happy to say that the guys at New Leaf have done a fantastic job of auditing that system and making corrections as they needed to. We will be extending the irrigation this year for a little bit longer because I've got a fairly large replant that's going to be starting here in the first week of November. Campus-wide, there will be a lot of people. I think there was a total of about 45 work orders total for residents that have shrubs here or bushes or trees or things that need to be replanted, and then other just campus-specific things that Scott and I have decided to take care of. But there's going to be a large replant starting in November, so I'm going to try and extend that watering as long as I can, weather permitting. But then we'll shut it down, and I'll put a notice out in the link before we shut it down so that everybody's kind of aware that that's going to be happening, so I don't get 500 emails that my irrigation's not working. The replant will not consist of sod at this point. That's not going to happen until the spring. After talking with New Leaf, we decided that it's probably best to let that hold off instead of trying to plant it while it's dormant. Bring that in the spring so that it should have a better chance of taking hold. The speed bump, I ordered a speed bump probably 6 weeks ago. There was a mistake made with the shipping. They shipped it to a different property. So they have reshipped my speed bump, and it's supposed to be here by Friday. It's going to be installed close to the mail kiosk going out the Mount Vernon exit on that side. Once it gets installed or gets here, it will be installed promptly. I promise you that. We are going to start pressure washing at the west covered parking within the next 2 weeks. We had it scheduled originally about 3 weeks ago. And then resale hit and we got very busy, so we were unable to follow through with that first scheduling. But we're going to reschedule that and make sure it's taken care of before the winter hits so that everything is nice and shiny. And I have been notified that there's quite a few lights out under both covered parking areas, east and west. That's going to be taken care of. Part of our sustainability committee, we talked about replacing old style bulbs like we did in here. We replaced them all with LED lights, so that's the plan. We're gonna order those and they should be in the next couple days. Get started on that. The last big thing I have to talk about is elevators. So I have 5 Dover we have 11 total elevators. 5 of them are a brand called Dover. There's a required safety upgrade to the doors for those that the state has said we have to start by January. So that process will be taking place. Along with that, 2 of the elevators are going to be completely remodified because the parts are no longer available for that particular model in order to perform this upgrade. So we've got the freight elevator, which won't affect you guys at all as residents, but the freight elevator in the maintenance hallway will be the first one that's remodified, and then the admin elevator will follow that. And then it has been my understanding in the budget over the next couple of years that all 3 elevators in West will follow with a full remodification. So that's going to start probably in the middle of December at some point. Again, it really won't affect you for the first month or so, but after that, you'll notice the admin elevator will be shut down for a little while. And then in the West, those elevators may be shut down for a day or 2 days while they're just doing that specific safety upgrade. Other than that, I have nothing else for you. Thank you very much, and I will offer it to Chad now.
Thank you, Stephen.
Afternoon, everybody. Okay, go to the slides. Give some updates. So we were able to update our reservations menu. That's been a long time coming. Glad we're doing that. These updates we're going to do monthly to the menus. So the reservation we did this month and next month is going to be Sydney's, and every 2 months that will rotate. With that, we have reports. I'm looking at the least ordered items, the ones I hear the most complaints about. I'm talking to our staff daily about, and then we're going to take those off and add new ones, or we could cycle in some other ones that we might get requests on too. So that's going to kind of give you some more variety and hopefully a little more pop to our menus. That's the game plan. Go to the next one. Mm-hmm. So I'm super excited to announce we have filled the restaurant manager position. That was the position I was in previously. So Linda Carter is going to be our new restaurant manager. This is an external candidate. I think she's going to bring a great knowledge and fresh ideas, new growth to our operation. She's also had some fine dining experience at a country club, and then she also had a similar experience in Chateau Lawn at a bistro environment like we have here. So I think she has knowledge, knows what we're doing here, really shined in all of her interviews because she cares about the customers, cares about dining experience and training. So those are going to be our focuses already, and she's going to fit in perfectly with that. So I hope y'all have your open arms and treat her right to the community. Next, we have our open positions. So thankfully the restaurant manager's filled. We did have our nutrition services manager put in her notice, and she had some already PTO in, so I've been filling that slot as well, having multiple hats. That is primarily in our Willowbrook Court and OBT for nutrition services. Luckily, we have our lead diet aide, Angel, who's been helping out tremendously for teaching me things, trying to learn processes, and make sure that's going along as well. So we do have that posted. It is being sponsored, which from HR side, that is mostly posted on Indeed, but then being sponsored, it pushes that posting to a lot more applicants. We do have 2 that are certified. That has to have a CDM, Certified Dietitian Manager position certification. So it's a very hard position to fill, but we are pushing to do that, and there's a sign-on bonus, so we are pushing hard to get that position filled. We had 1 line cook position open, but that we had someone else put in their resignation, which is Chris Carter. But we did have an interview with a cook the other day, and we are in the negotiation process of offering that position. So hopefully we'll go down to 1 line cook very soon. Dishwasher, we have 6 openings. We had lost a lot.
I'm going to share a little bit on my part.
Okay, but we did on Monday. I had 4 interviews. I stepped in. I feel like I'm a decent recruiter from my previous position. Had 4 interviews, and I put in 4 offers. So we should be very back to normal. We already had 2 in the work. So we should be, as soon as they onboard, a lot better shape. Servers, we have 3 openings right now. Melissa and Eddie, our culinary services supervisors, have been trained and they've been interviewing now. So they've been doing a great job. You've seen a lot of new faces as servers. I think with having them, the restaurant manager and Daryl interviewing and getting people, we're gonna have a lot more servers, which is great for our culture too, because then they can grow to be sanitation workers, cooks, medical diet aides. That should be a kind of forefront to recruit to other areas. So I think we're gonna be a lot better from that. And a lot of those positions for cooks too. That's how I got on, and a lot of other experienced cooks that way. We have 3 medical diet aides positions open, and I've been interviewing those. Same thing we all deal with. Some have not shown up, but we're gonna continue to get those positions filled. All right. So recycling, the last forum I was at, everyone had a really passionate discussion about doing more for the environment, going green. So I went online and I found this logo and I love it because not only is recycling important, but reusing and reducing are huge too. You'll see this logo that we put by our beverage stations. I want to try to use that logo more. So when you see that logo, you know there's opportunity for y'all to have a chance to go green. So like the beverage stations, you know, if you bring thermoses, if you bring reusable bags, a number of things that you can do. And we have reusable containers, the green ones, if you ask to use those. There's a lot, if y'all do, we have available, but we're gonna be really pushing to do more with that. If you think about how often people use a coffee cup disposable a day, multiply that by 400 residents or so and 100 staff, that really adds up. So there's a lot we can do to do better. So I'm gonna be advocating that a lot. All right. So we had our pulse survey results. But before I go into that, I did want to say we did have an internal audit that we have from our corporate office that's safety and compliance.
Chad, I'm going to be sharing it too.
Okay.
Don't take away all my thunder.
I'm sorry. Communication's key. So with the survey results, I'm kind of going to go with all the takeaways, a lot that we already knew, but I'm going to go through those. We'll go to next.
Where do you want me to go,
This
Chad?
one, right?
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
So response rate. So we had a lot of response. Thank you. I want all the responses in the world and all the income that we have. So we had 513 for residents, but then we had 351, which is 68% response rate. Thank you. Appreciate that. Good, next. So kind of what we already knew. People love the bistro. So not a lot of change there in our knowledge base of that. But that also really pushes me to do new reservation menus, cities menus. I really want to push that y'all enjoy other venues just as much. So that's a big focus on not that, but I kind of already knew that. So the menu selections, everything, there's a lot that we took away from that. And again, a lot that we're already proactively changing since I've been in this position. We're doing the menus. Healthy choices, that is going to be a priority. That was really a focus more. This is mostly about venues, but the takeaway I got from you, healthier choices, more variety. I hear you. We are going to do that. But the biggest thing is temperature of food as well. We're looking at that, pushing hot plates. We also thankfully did the change in the line, so that way hot food comes last after salad. I feel like that's helped out a lot, but we have more to do as well. Pretty much the same as everything else. It's just more the bistro, if you can see, is in blue. I should have said before, and full service is in the gray. So really our bistro is doing really well. Again, we have to focus in the other locations to do better. So this is really was the main focus of the survey, but as you can see, the bistro strongly up there. Reservations, Sydney's, our holidays, theme nights, Mountain View walk-in buffet. We need to focus on that as well. There's some ideas from corporate and different things. We're going to be evaluating that as well.
Yeah, and this one was to gauge how much you were interested in a pub/sports bar, and obviously from 68% of the residents, not as high as some of the other venues. So not that we're not going to move that direction, because we got to be thinking future as well, but this was all shared with corporate as well. So.
And a lot of the comments too, a lot of people are like, misunderstanding the questions I noticed too. Is like, we don't have a pub, so why is this a question? But the whole thing is like, if you wanted that, or if you're open to the possibility. So it is moving that trend that y'all might be, so we're evaluating that. And again, the biggest takeaways of that, I read all the comments, have a lot of menu ideas, things that you want. A lot of it was about salmon as well. Before, our pizza Turbo Chef oven has been down, so it is now working properly. So we have the salmon that's at the right portions, cooking correctly, and it's just gonna be a lot more consistent. With that, we're also gonna look at more healthy items that we can use in that oven that we can have available to you, and look at items for that as well. So there's a lot we got from that survey that I took away and have notes on menu selections, ideas. So thank you for that. Don't think that was just a venue survey. I got a lot from that. Thank you. All right.
Is that it, Jeff?
Well, I just want to say the 3 positions we have open, those 2, the restaurant manager and nutrition services manager, report to me and Brian Farkas. So I have 2 of the biggest positions that have been vacant. So I have been a little stretched, but I want to have my full focus on making this place better. Thank you for the opportunity. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chad. All right, some great information. Let me get to my slides so I don't have to keep turning around. This I do want to turn around for. So this is our mailbox. We put it, my friend and I put it up on, and it's pretty straight, it's not crooked. We put it up on Sunday, and it's survived until today, and it's still going well. So we're officially in our house as of Monday, 3 nights sleep and unpacking boxes and doing all that. So really happy about it. A couple miles, I guess it's north of the rowing venue off of Clark's Bridge, and it's just a really pretty area, and some deer and that's all I got to be on the lookout for coming to and from work, which is not dodging cars. So we're really happy about that. My wife is very happy. Resident Technology Group, we need you. So one of ACT's focuses is to, we've got Jeremiah here on board. We've got Evan that helps us as well. But each community has been tasked with trying to put together a resident technology group that would partner with Jeremiah, let's say, and simple helps for residents because Jeremiah gets a lot of work orders and a lot of calls. So if you're interested, all I'm asking is we're going to try to get as many as 5. But if you know of someone, or if you yourself are interested, just shoot me an email. Just shoot me a private email, and by next Friday, and I'll compile that list. Not tomorrow, but a week from Friday. So we're going to get a resident technology group together to partner with Jeremiah. Resident Quarterly Town Hall is this coming, nope, it's November 13th. Why am I saying this coming? Wednesday, November 13th at 10 a.m. The topic is the 2025 budget for ACTS, and that will take the place in November of the forum. So we won't have a forum in November. We'll have this town hall in its place. We just sat through the budget presentation I did with Ed Dewey, and it was very well done, as it always is, and I think you'll find some very good information in that presentation. There will be a video and then a question and answer session. Going out soon will be the ancillary charges list for 2025. They will go out before November 1st. Vicki and I reviewed them today, and they seem reasonable. This was briefly mentioned earlier, the safety and compliance audit, and areas audited were Willowbrook Court, our culinary areas, and the maintenance department. And the scores received, Willowbrook Court scored an 87, which is a very high B, and will go up once documentation is proven that they have what they had to have. Culinary, 95, up from 85 last year. Wonderful job. And maintenance, a 97, up from last year's 82%. So wonderful job. Stephen, your report last year was 142 items were noted or something like that? 143 items were noted last year, and this year it was like 4. So what a big difference. And these guys are so competitive. I'm like, don't jump so high so fast, because how do you keep going up? It's hard to maintain, but they're dedicated and focused on maintaining that. So great job and with all of these, it's especially the maintenance area, it's all the department heads that have to join in with that, because they focus on everywhere. So Stephen will get the report, but then he and the department heads and the team members have to correct the actions. So great job by all. So I'm going to show a couple of pictures of the Service Awards recognition event that was held recently, where we recognized team members for anywhere from 5 to 25 years in 5-year increments. Sarah and Julia put these together and did a wonderful job. They had a blast. They were next door to me. I didn't know what was going on in there, but they were having just a ball wrapping presents, and they did a beautiful job. And this is just the table setting that the culinary team put together. And this is all the honorees, and I happen to be in that picture with them. And just a great job of all of them being recognized. And one thing that we'll do soon is, I don't know that I ever put out the list of, did I? I know it was asked for. Can you jot that down, Tammy? Just that I remember to put out a list of who was recognized and how many years of service. Because then you can congratulate them as you see them around. Scam Central, I have a few things to share. Just no video, just some tips. So be on the lookout for these red flags if you get approached. Being asked to pay money in order to receive a prize. Yeah, some people are laughing. Being asked or pressured to act immediately. You know, your grandson is in trouble, you need to act immediately. Grandma, I don't want to tell mom and dad, you need to help me, please. Use of scare tactics, telling you a loved one is in danger, that your computer has been hacked, or threatening arrest if you don't act now. Insistence that you wire money or pay by gift card. Receiving a check or overpayment and being asked to wire a portion of the funds back. Being asked to provide your password, your PIN, your social security number, account number, or financial information to someone who contacts you out of the blue. Get rich quick and other promises that sound too good to be true. These seem obvious, but people are getting calls. Okay or not okay, we're going to move to this portion. It feels like we should have like a gong or something, a gong show. So, this is why I asked Chad to stop. A small number of team members decide they will call out together and leave their department in a bind. Okay or not okay? Not okay. Well, that happened. It happened in culinary. Some of the sanitation workers decided they didn't care for a new hire that Chad and his managers were taking care of and onboarding and doing what they needed to do. So they decided to walk out, call in sick, whatever it is, and for days in a row. So put that department in a bind. So look what had to happen. You recognize him? That's Chad. So when you're in a bind, you don't have sanitation workers, you've got to do what's necessary. So thank you, Chad. Yes. I asked him if I could show it too in advance. He said it was okay. You call the front gate to let them know you're expecting a visitor. Great, right? Yeah. Well, this doesn't completely relate to it, but does relate to our security team and keeping us safe here. We had a processor, processes documents, presents them to somebody, whatever they are, legal documents, insist upon entering our community. So we do what we're supposed to do. You wouldn't call in advance, you don't know that's happening. The security guard called the resident. The resident at first said it's okay. So we let the person in, and then the resident called back and said, no, I'm not okay. We chased down the processor, helped her leave the property, but very resistant to leaving. We actually had to get police involved at this point. You know, non-emergency, but just to say, no, you can't be here, it's private property. Came back a few days later, it might have been the next day, and actually was dropped off and walked in. Again, we saw her, we were able to stop her. But it's all for your safety. We ended up working it out with her that, hey, our resident isn't okay with this. If you would like to leave the piece of paper with us, we will deliver it to them. And if they're willing to sign that they received it, we'll get that back to you. They accepted that, the resident accepted it, we solved the problem. But we could have probably done that from the start if she would have worked with us, but she was resistant to. But again, all of this is because we want to keep you safe. So make sure that you let the team know up there who's coming to see you, if you know they are. Otherwise, we're going to reach out, and if we don't get an okay, we might be turning someone away. So, and anything to add to that, Aaron, or no? Aaron and his team worked really hard on making sure we did the right things there. You never know, in today's world, so we'd rather be safe than sorry. A resident gives a family member or friend their access card or sticker to gain easy access to our community. Not okay. Are you familiar? We have a Friends and Family placard system. where if you have a frequent visitor, we can give them just a special thing that they'll put in their window. They'll still have to drive through the inside lane, but all we'll jot down is like their number, so we know who's on property. Makes it quicker, makes it easier. This week, I try to do things that are current events as well. So this week, I found out that a family member had one of the RFID stickers on their car, and they went to get the car detailed, and the detailer took off the sticker. Made the family member upset, right? Because they've had easy access for however long. Reached out to me started with Aaron and his team to ask, can I get another sticker? Got to me and I said, no. You can follow the friends and family process, but we can't be giving stickers out because we need to know who's on property. So just another example of being safe. So if you have frequent visitors, feel free to reach out to Aaron and his team for a friends and family card, if you want to call it. A resident chooses to join one of the many committees in our community for the sole purpose of making our community a great place to live and work, and not for a personal agenda. Great, right? In my history, and I haven't experienced it here, but there are occasionally residents who join committees because they have an agenda, that they need this or that, or they and a best friend need this or that. Our committees and everything we do here, we've got to be thinking about the whole. So feel free to join any committee, express interest in any committee, but be thinking about the whole and how it's going to help all of us versus our own personal agendas. And I think we've got great committees. That was it for the okay, not okay. Now, I already did this. I showed this twice. Wow. So don't forget about the town hall coming up. November 13th, 10 to 11 a.m., and it'll take place at the forum. So that's Wednesday, November 13th. I did have my first Ask the Director meeting last month. A lot of questions were submitted in advance, so I was able to provide answers. I did it in a typed-in form, so I showed the questions that were sent by area and then the responses that I gave. So they gave that to those that attended. And we'll be having that monthly moving forward. I thought it went very well, and I've reached out to those residents that are invited to that to let them know when the next one is next month. So we'll be continuing to move forward with that. Now I'd like to call up Vicki. Come on down, come on over, come on, whatever.
Well, hello, everybody.
Yeah, it's because I'm on. Don's doing it, or
Hello.
the new big house man is doing it. Okay, you're good.
I'm on. Well, hello, everybody here in the room. Great to see your smiling faces, and those of you who'll be watching from home. How many of you participated in our annual Great Pumpkin Hunt? A handful of people in the room. Wonderful. I had a number of scorecards turned in. Only one person was able to identify the exact number of pumpkins. So we have a special award for that person. They get a medal for being an expert pumpkin hunter. Will you please come up here, Tina Naraki?
All right.
Congratulations to our expert pumpkin hunter. And I ordered a number of those, so hopefully that will motivate you all to get out and hunting pumpkins next year. I will leave them as long as I can. I know I've had some people send me pictures of pumpkin hunting with their grandchildren when they visit, and we really enjoy that, so they'll stay out as long as we reasonably can have them out there. And for all of you who participated, we decided to do a raffle, so let me draw that.
Yeah, how many?
Oh, yeah. There were exactly 45. I had somebody count 60. So apparently it was a team effort. All right, digging deep. Our raffle prize winner are Ron and Mary Stevens. I do not see them in the room.
Mary's here.
Oh, Mary's here. Mary, come on up. There's a beautiful gift shop in the Ace next door to us, just up the street, and they provide us with a beautiful basket.
Congratulations.
Good job, pumpkin hunters. You were the one that said 60.
Oh, hey.
Well, you got a prize for finding bonus pumpkins, so very good. Before I give up the mic, I have a couple of little announcements I'd like to make. If you have a pup, we will be having a patio Halloween potty out on the bistro patio on the 30th at 3 o'clock. Lance Animal Hospital will be here sponsoring that. And we will have a pet costume contest. So please make sure you bring your pet in Halloween garb. And if you just love animals and want to come hang out and see all the cute pups, please come join us. And of course, do not forget the Halloween party is on the 31st. Prepare your Halloween costumes and make sure you check your calendar for time. I did put out a reminder with an agenda so you guys know exactly when costume judging will be happening. So make sure you look at those. Also, please check your mailboxes because we have some two trips coming up that are at the very front of November that I wanted you to be aware of. So make sure that you're checking your mailboxes for those. And I'm going to give up the airtime. So thank you so much. Congratulations, pumpkin hunters.
Thank you, Vicki. All right, because we have the Ask the Director meetings now, we're going to take a total of 5 questions max. Anybody have any questions? Yes?
What are these sort of antenna things on the cottage?
Yes. So the West Cottage residents, most of them now, if not all, have an antenna installed above their garage, could be in one of the other peaks. That's for the connectivity project that Stephen was referring to. It will help them be able to, staff, residents, it's whoever goes to the home to be able to access all AX wireless routings and services. So that's what it's for. Now, Stephen, will the East Cottages have an antenna as well? They won't have to, correct?
They won't have to.
East Cottages will not have to because they were built with all the cabling that was needed. Unfortunately, the West, a long time ago. Anybody else? Yes? Let's wait. Don't fall.
Thank you. You're welcome. I was just wondering, when they come clean our windows, last year when they cleaned them, the girls, when the sun starts to go down, you could see the fingers on every one where they put them back. So can we just not get them to clean? Because they cleaned them. Jay did a great job with deep cleaning.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're interested in not having it done, go ahead and email Shonda or Lupe, Maria, and they'll put you on a list. Or just stop them when they come or whatever, but yeah. Yeah. Anybody, anything else? All right, have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.